Kate, do you mind? It's called homing.
You got it.
Okay. Poem to order.
Homing. I draw curtains across what I can't see. I want nothing so badly to take place like a pill. Live in this lit circle, falling on thresholds without doors. Rooms I know are there still.
Thank you, Kate. That's Homing by Kate Colby. So what we're going to do is a kind of a very quick condensed version of what we've done in our videos, which is to do a close reading, except this time the poet is not only sitting there, but is looking at us as if to say, what are you going to do to my poem? And maybe the poet herself will be involved in the conversation, so see what happens. All right, so I'm going to do something I don't do in the videos, which is actually sort of identify the order in which we'll get comments from people. So Jess, you'll be first. Gabe, you'll be second. Amaris, you'll be third. And Anna, you'll be fourth. And then we'll open it up to anybody else who wants to say something. Start us off, Jess. Anything, anywhere, what's going on?
Okay. This is sort of outside the box, perhaps, but I saw a dance performance recently in which a dancer was moving around and through like a lit circle, a spotlight. Mm-hmm. So that made me think about movement and the way that there is movement and then stillness or like continuity, the word still, which when hearing it aloud, I sort of got the doubleness of that, as in still, as in something remains but is also still. So just the very end of the poem, this sense of falling, right? A kind of, to me, that's a sort of movement that you let something happen. You're letting the body fall, and there's this sense that some space that's been created, something remains.
Wow.
And so I came to that through thinking about this dance performance. Like I said, that's an aside, but...
Wow. That's a really interesting start. You're talking about the movement of the poem. I love it. Gabe, you want to pick up on that or add a new point?
Yeah, I think maybe I'll do both of those things. I just want to make sure that we mention the way the line breaks are working here. And it's funny actually to hear Kate read it, mostly because it seems like she's really emphasizing how these line breaks are working.
She really did, more than I thought she would.
Yeah. So probably the two stanzas it's like most obvious. I want nothing, line break, so badly, line break, to take place, line break, like a pill. So that line continues to sort of like, every time the line breaks, you kind of get a different meaning or a different expectation of what the line will be or how it'll end. So you think, I want nothing. So there can't be a sort of like level of desire for wanting nothing, but then you get the modification of so badly, and then you get the modification to take place. So it's like a different kind of wanting. And then like a pill just kind of comes out of nowhere because it's like, it's a hard simile just because the characteristics of a pill don't really fit here. So this is just to me like really Armentrout-y. It reminds me a lot of the way. And I think like this is just hopefully getting to Jess's point of how the way the poem moves. That kind of stilted, but really like always adding something a little more complex at every kind of stilted movement. It feels so Ray Armentrout to me.
Great. Gabe, thank you so much. Amaris, you want to go a little further with this?
Yeah, I was really interested in how this poem seems to revolve around the theme of enclosures, of drawing boundaries. There's the circle, the rooms, drawing curtains from the first line, and tying that in with the title. It really felt to me like the poem is talking about exploring hidden rooms within the self, spaces of blindness, either unconscious or unconscious. This kind of, it seems, a sensing that there are areas of the self that she hides from herself to escape. And the homing idea is the idea of using intuition to come, to locate those areas of truth that are hard to swallow. And that maybe that like a pill smack dab in the center is a hope that that journey could be easy. It could be a process of, instantaneous understanding of the self, but rather there is this circular movement of having the courage to home in on those hidden rooms.
Wow. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Amaris. Anna, I'm going to get a little more pointed in asking questions, and then we're going to open it up to a couple more. Yeah, to a couple more comments, and then we'll invite Kate to say anything she wants about this. Anna, so Amaris drew us closer to a Dickinsonian sense of enclosure, of insideness, pardon me, Kate, a psycho-emotional interiorization. Someone's in a house, maybe there's some movement wandering, but there is a drawing curtains across, which is to say against. There's a self-blinding or a self not seeing, and of course the title has that powerful pun. So I'm going to ask you about the Dickinsonian quality, if you don't mind.
Well, I was actually going to draw a lineage of Dickinson in I Dwell in Possibility,
Sure.
to Niedecker in Foreclosure, to Armentrout in The Way, now to Colby in Homing, of these poems.
You're in that line. You like that line?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it feels good, right? It's a good line. Of poems that create spaces in poems that are about spaces, building houses, real or imagined, or houses being taken away, or houses that are remembered, spaces that are remembered. And all of those things all of those are things that poems can do. And I think that a thing that I think this poem does really powerfully. And all of that comes from Dickinson, right? Dwelling in the house of possibility. A house that feels equal parts very real and totally elusive, right? The house of possibility is like, right, yeah, it's got windows, but then it's got these huge doors and the roof is the sky, right? It's a house that's equal parts, like I can sort of see it, but I really can't. It's a house that exists as a function and a fixture of an imagination. And what is any thought but an imagined thought, right? What is any space that we build in our minds but, this thing that you can't quite communicate, or it's half-formed, or it's intentionally half-formed.
Yes.
And I think all the poets that I just named sort of in this line are dealing with that, the poem being the thing of, or at least an attempt to convey the kind of space that I'm in.
Kate, you can react in any way you want to any of this or add some other quote-unquote information. I'll just turn the screw just a little bit further and say that the part of the I Dwell in Possibility poem that is powerful here for me is the fairer house than prose. You don't make a case for poetry except implicitly by writing a poem that could only say what it says as a poem. But one gets the sense that the possibility of this poem is this interior space that gets constructed by something that's fairer than prose, better than prose, more powerful than prose. It's almost a affirmation of the work, the formal work that you're doing. Anyway, Kate Colby, nice poem. Snaps for Kate Colby's Homing and so many other poems in the book. What do you think?
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I thank you all so much. I'm disinclined to add anything about the poem. Anna, you made me cry a little bit.
What is it about what Anna said that really got to you?
Well, I mean, those are my people.
They are your people, so we're right. You are a week 2 poet.
Yeah, for sure.
Proudly.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess the one thing I'll say is I don't live like a hermit, but there is a hermetic quality to my thinking and writing that I think is not replicates, but reflects the other poems in other poets in that line. And we're all women. There's something there too.
Do you want to say a little more about that?
Nope.
Okay. Great. So that's Kate. Thank you all for that. Thank you, Kate.